97.5 Y Country Cast.
Yep. Brother, are you ready for the next episode? Johnny Walker, Matt Malone, we are here to enlighten you with information that we feel like you should know.
Absolutely.
And some is just more like crazy stuff that maybe you will wish that you didn't know after the fact, which today I think the big thing, I think the story that I've got, people need to know. People absolutely need to know. In fact, it's the things that you shouldn't be doing at a grocery store. So we'll talk about those things. We'll have the top things.
Oh,
coming up in a few minutes, I know. But this is a story that you have, Johnny, that is a little bit smelly. It's a smelly story.
This is honestly, this is a thing that I wish I would have thought of. And this is actually something that happened in Michigan in Lodi Township, which I'm not sure exactly where that is. We may have to Google it while I'm reading the story. But there's a farmer there that has built a wall to keep himself away from his neighbors because he had a property line dispute. You know, when that happens, people, you know, they argue. I mean, what was it? The Hatfields and McCoys had pretty much a war over a property line. But this guy,
years, generations and generations.
They probably would have solved that problem very easily if they would have done what this guy did. He built a 250-foot wall of poop.
What?
So he I don't know how he got that much poop. He obviously has to be a cow farmer or just has everybody pooping.
Or eats a lot of burritos. Yeah. Hey, if you have to use the bathroom, don't you dare go at your house.
Just come on over here. I got you. So he's the town poop collector, but so what he did is he divides his property from Wayne Lambert's. And Wayne says that this farmer built the feces fence because they're in the middle of a property line dispute. Now, neighbors are complaining that the fence smells terrible, but local officials say nothing can be done about the poop wall because it's on the farmer's property.
That is ridiculous. Did he make them into like poop bricks? You remember those things that the toys that you make snow bricks out of, but using the poop on it?
No, I think he made them into Lincoln logs.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's a different kind of log there that we're talking about. But so this is actually, it's right by Ann Arbor, apparently.
Okay.
It is. So
okay.
Just a little bit to the southwest. But yeah, it's not something I think if you ever invited us over, like, hey, come on over. We're having a cookout outside.
Yeah. Hey, will you help me build my fence? No, I'm good. I'm busy. Can't.
Got 8 porta potties outside, and then you just take your time. Yeah. Gross.
Stinky.
What do you think? Okay, so farming is what you think he does, or it's on.
It's got to be.
No.
It's got to be. Well, it's a farm. I think it's a farmland dispute. So he's got to be some sort of farmer. Yeah. And I mean, even if you're just a farmer that's growing something, the amount of manure and things you use for your field is not going to be able to build a 250-foot wall. So he's got to get his poop from somewhere else.
I'm just thinking that he might
sources his poop from the finest of regions.
I was just thinking he might be like employee of the year at the water treatment facility. That may be his job. He's like, you know what? I've got a solution. It's going to help both of us.
Everybody goes to dump and he just has a sign. It's like, come over here. Just, I don't think I should dump it in the back of your truck, sir. I don't think that's a good idea.
No. What a terrible, terrible thing. Well, let's talk about the things that you shouldn't be doing at a grocery store. And I find this interesting because a lot of these that are on this list, a lot of people I see doing all the time, and it drives me absolutely insane, right? The first thing that's on this list that I'll talk about is going through the 10 items or less lane.
Yeah.
When you clearly have more than 10 items and there's a lot of people there. Now, if there's not a lot of people, there's empty lanes.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. That's okay. But this is literally, statistically speaking, one of the biggest pet peeves of many people that made it this high up on the list. So do you go through the checkout line when you have more than 10 items?
No, I usually, if I have more than 10 items, I go straight to a cashier. I won't even go to the self-checkout because when they're like, oh, just go to the self-checkout, it'll just take too long
Yeah.
because I am a very slow scanner, and Jocelyn will attest to this. She hates when I do the self scan because I'm like, oh, I gotta make sure I get the barcode right. Boop. And then I take I do
Gently
the
place it.
I try to open the bag and it's not
Yeah.
working, and she's just like, those people have already gone through 3 times with their stuff. Like, just either go to the checkout with the cashier or just let me do it.
It's like, what's that movie with the kids movie with the sloth?
That's me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's you. That's what is it? I don't even know what the movie is, but anyways, it's you. We got it.
Something Zootopia.
Zootopia, that's it. Good call. Good call. The other thing, don't block your aisle with the carts. A lot of people, it drives me nuts. And this is where you put your cart, not even necessarily directly in the middle, but just far enough where there's clearly not a path for another cart to go to. The other thing is when you get double carted, right?
Oh yeah.
You've got one that's there and there's no way you can loop around, and you're just standing there and the two people are completely oblivious to the rest of the world, and then they look up at you and then they still don't move. They just sit there.
Again, like that, the blocking with the cart. I hate when people, like, they put their cart there and then they stand far away to look at the opposite shelf. It's like, just go up to the shelf and give me some room. But no, they stand all the way on there like, I think I'm going to get mac and cheese, but I can't really see the price because I'm 6 feet away from it. But that's another thing that adds to the difficulty when you're going through the aisles, especially now when we're trying to social distance ourselves.
Right.
It's like people are using their cart as the way to completely block the aisle from someone else, and it's tough.
What about when somebody's at the checkout and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, I forgot ice cream," or "I forgot something," and they are in the checkout line and they run out and grab it?
Ooh,
does that drive you nuts?
That doesn't drive me as much nuts in more than when somebody needs to write a check. I mean, I'm all for writing a check, but do it a little quicker.
Yeah,
they're just like, let me write. What's the amount? It's like, you already know. Like, it's 20 minutes, and then they've got to put it through the machine and do all that stuff. It takes like 20 minutes.
You should have the check pre-filled, and just have to put the dollar amount.
Just the dollar amount. Boom, done. But no, they're like, what's today's date?
I can't.
I'm using the old lady voice, but it's anybody. You know, everybody, people that still write checks, like, pre-fill the check, just put the dollar amount. You're going to save a lot of time and frustration from everybody else.
Yeah. Now, along those lines too, saving time, people think that this saves them time. And I'll agree with you that going in from the checkout line to go pick something, it doesn't bother me as much. I get it. It happens, right?
As long as it's something that's not too far away. If it's ice cream, usually that's pretty close to the checkout. But when they're like, hey, let me go I need another apple, and they have to go halfway across the store to the produce section and go get it. It's like, nah, just put it off to the side.
See, I'm thinking more of like, if it's more than one item, if it's not as close, then I'm fine with that. But if it's more than one item, then I just,
Well, when they do the price check, and if like, they're like, oh, well, it's not scanning. And I'm like, instead of waiting for somebody to go and find that item and find the price, I'm just like, I'll get it next time. Like, I don't want to leave anybody else frustrated or make the line longer just because of one box of crackers.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to thinking about time. This is the number one thing that drives people nuts. And I think that this definitely is something I agree with. When people leave their shopping cart in the parking lot, they don't put it back in the cart corral. How hard is it to take the extra 10 seconds to take it to the cart corral? I don't think it's hard, right?
That is why Aldi has the quarter. Because if you go to most of those Aldi stores in the parking lot, do you see carts? Not often. Because they got the little quarter thing.
You said that's why they have, I was to say that's why we can't have nice things.
Exactly that too.
The wind blows and we'll push the cart and then it hits somebody's car, and it's so frustrating, and it is so simple and easy. I actually go about it out of my way to try to take, if there's carts that are along the way, I will take those back and put them away. But it just drives me nuts.
I've had scratches on a car before because of that actual thing where it got really windy and it smacked into my car.
Drives me nuts. So I say that next time that we have that happen, we see the person, we quickly try to get that farmer and try to build a poop wall around their car so they can't leave, right? Until they actually return their cart.
Or you take all of the carts and surround their car with carts next time.
That's a good idea. And then you lock them all together.
Yep. Ooh. You need a lot of quarters.
I really like the poop idea though, I think.
Oh yeah.